Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Special Report. This is your host, Dr. Yavuz Selim Salai, physician, entrepreneur, and venture architect. Today is a special day. I promise you that I'll be bringing people from all walks of life. And today, I have one of the top diplomats, one of the top business person that I'm proud to introduce you, Mr. Zeki Güverçi, which is actually the board member of the largest businessman association, Müsi. And he is also at the top in terms of, as a president, managing the entire diplomatic relation of Müsi, and also a key member at DEIC and working with the relationship between Senegal and Turkey. Zeki, welcome to Special Report.
Thank you very much.
So excited to have you today. Today is a special day. I think now you went through almost four diplomats or ambassadors and going through other two. So today you're going through, I think, 6 different programs, and I know how busy you are. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much.
Zeki, I know you very well, but for our viewers, could you please tell who Zeki Güverçi is? What excites you? What motivates you?
Thank you very much for all this energy. First, of course, it's very important to have it. I'm Zeki Güverçi, member of Executive Board of Müsi. As you say, it is the largest businessman association in Turkey, maybe in the world, because of its international network. I'm also a member of DEIC, that is Turkey International Relation Council, State Council for Business Relation, Trade Diplomacy, member of Turkish Senegal Business Council. Also, I'm member of board of CEAPME, that is European Businessmen Entrepreneurs Federation, based in Brussels.
Awesome.
Represent Turkey in this international federation. I think it's enough because
also I want to hear about your companies. You know,
yes,
you are very active in very different areas of business.
Of course, my companies are mainly about the first one about international education. As you know, international students is a very large and strategic issue,
yes.
And it is a Turkey's President Erdogan's specific strategic issue that he's stressing very often in his speeches. Because we are really working towards, especially also African students, for them to come in Turkey, because our company is named Come to Turkey.
Yes.
Coming in Turkey and being part of Turkish economy, also having Turkish culture and Turkish education, and after that, having also Turkish sensibility. Sure. That means seeing the world the right way. Having a will of justice, of course, economic development, but
sure.
also to be sensitive to environment.
Absolutely.
And with all this lobby that we are willing to get, we are willing to develop also fair, of course, but trade between Turkey and Africa. We have offices and representatives in more than 26 African countries.
For Come to Turkey.
For Come to Turkey,
That's
of
excellent.
course. And every Friday we have a webinar today at 5 p.m.
Good luck.
And every meeting is attended by like 200 African students from the continent, from South Africa to Togo to Benin to Sudan, etc.
That's amazing.
And with academicians and also our ambassadors who attend these meetings, we explain them why they shall come in Turkey and study here. Our other company is GR Events. That means it is a company that organizes Turkish economy ministers, presidencies, etc., official international B2B meetings. Great. We have organized, for instance, President Erdogan's North Africa business summits.
Awesome.
And many other countries also. And also we are, as industrialists, we are producing drinks. The company's name also is very special for diplomats. It is Embassy. Embassy Food is our company that produces hot drinks, especially. But this hot drinks special is that you can eat them. It is organic, 100% wow. Organic. That's why it is a very different product from standard and the products you can see that are not made of 100% natural. That's our business.
That's amazing.
And we are, of course, all our business is international.
That's great.
This also drink, because we are selling drinks from, of course, Africa and America, especially. Products are coming from there. And we hope also that your channel, that is broadcasting very widely in Africa, is very important for the development of our activity.
Absolutely.
Also. Because if you don't know a country, if you don't have the right information,
Sure.
You are going to maybe change your mind. And as you know, media now, international
It's really
media,
important.
is seen to be democratic, but mainly controlled by
Unfortunately.
one single or 10 families. And it's not good for democracy, not good for people's rights, and it's not good also for the future.
That's a really great point. And being fair and balanced and providing the right
Yes,
access to news is our job as well. Thanks for highlighting that.
Okay.
Getting back to Zeki Güvercin's amazing team, the work in different areas you're doing. Tell us about your background, your education. You had a master's, I think,
Yes.
right, in France, and you have a great French. I mean, I don't have good French, even though I worked before for a French company in pharmaceutical. You have amazing French. I was so impressed. Can you tell more about what the educations you took?
I studied in France, Paris and Lyon, and also my master's degree was there. I'm very interested by foreign languages. I speak other also languages like German, etc. Because I think, and in our tradition also, we say one man, one language.
Exactly.
And that is also one of the things we are working about international students. Because students want to study in their mother language, so we tell them, don't do it. Come, the first year only work about Turkish language.
Excellent.
Because now Turkish language is very important, especially in Africa, because Turkish companies are looking for graduates that speak Turkish and are local person. Because of many things, of course, for residence permits, but also for the knowledge of the field. And if a young African person knows Turkish fluently, he will have really maybe 10 times the local wage, and it's very important for families and for students for their future.
Absolutely.
And also they can develop, because now the companies who are developing in Africa, investing in Africa, are Turkish companies.
Absolutely.
And they can accompany it. Coming to language, it's very important to speak languages. And of course, French is important, especially in West Africa, for historical reasons. And it's important to make what you really mean understood. In French, there is, in Latin, you have a say that is traditore, traditore. The word creator and translator is the same. There is only one single difference, EI. But traditore, traditore. That's why you have to speak to people in their language if you want to have the right message to go through.
Absolutely. And thanks for doing that. And talking about giving the right messages, let's talk about the current relations between Turkey, Africa, and opportunities based on what you see. Since 2005, when the Africa Year has been announced, where do you see both the financial, cultural, diplomatic relations going? And do you feel we're there? What else should we do to improve that relationship?
Of course, there are the general information. That means Turkey is a country that has the more embassies. Turkish Airlines is a company that have the more flying points in Africa. All this now is a success. We know about this. But we have some fields that are also very important that people don't really know. Of course, one of them is humanitarian actions. Turkish humanitarian associations do far more than any other country.
That's true.
But sometimes we have a marketing problem because we are not looking at it like marketing.
That's true.
But it must be known. One of our ambassadors in Chad told me a French company just had 10 or 15 actions and got a medal from the state government. And when he went to the president of the country telling, we do 1,000 more, the president told him, I don't know that you do all these things. We have also to make it known. The other very important point about business community, and as Müsiat, we have now 3 main action plan about Africa. We have, as Musiat, more than 230 memorandum of understanding with international organizations. Half of them are in Africa. So we are developing our partnership with local business associations or chambers. We prefer business associations, but sometimes there is not. We go to chambers because we speak the same language. On this field, we are developing. Absolutely. And during Musiat Expo in November, we signed 20 MOUs in 2 days.
That's amazing.
And this signing was very, very interesting for many people, especially in pandemic period. They came here. Mm-hmm. We received more than 2,000 African guests at the end of last November. This MOU part is very important to develop trade. The other action we have is about honorary consuls. We think that honorary consuls are business persons with diplomatic status. They are staying in the country for 10, 20, 30 years. It's a long-term partnership. Mm-hmm. And we are developing it through our members also. We have organized the first honorary consul summit during Musiat Expo, with the participation of Mr.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's amazing.
With the participation of Yavuz Selim Khan and also all the honorary consuls. It was a very great organization, and it is a work of nearly more than 2 years. That means we are working on the long term. We are not looking at these issues like short-term issues. On the other hand, of course, we received many delegations, business delegations, and we ourselves went to Senegal at the end of February, during pandemic also, just to meet businessmen there, to have contracts and to see how we can develop. The general issue in Turkey is that we must look at Africa like 54 countries, very different geography. Absolutely. There is not a lot of common things between the South African and the Tunisian, for instance, but they are both African. If we say Africa policy globally, we are going to make some mistakes. Absolutely. Because there are French-speaking, English-speaking, there are black Africans, white Africans, there are also different political and economic regimes. All this we have to know. That's why we are working with our universities to make specific Africa departments.
Yes, exactly.
In these Africa departments, we can make that students are studying specific countries, make doctorates in this field, make research, and also these departments can invite foreign teachers. Absolutely. And also students, and this will create a dynamic relation with Africa, because Africa is also evolving.
Absolutely.
It's not a place that is monolithic and not changing. Other issue, of course, about African relations outside this direct business issue is to know about the future of because Africa also, like Turkish economy, is evolving to renewable energies, for instance, smart cities. There are a lot of fields that we don't take into account enough, and these fields are going to grow more and more. And maybe because about construction we are quite good, yes, we can say it. About education we have Marif, etc. The education field also we are very good. But about this part, I think we have to work a bit more. The other issue is about investment. Many African countries now are not willing anymore to buy products. They want to have companies producing on their field because of employment issues.
Localization,
of course. Yeah. We have the Algerian example that is very good, of course, with steel industry that is, of course, Turkish, but also Algerian, and exporting from Algeria to Mauritania, for instance. Great. And last Algerian export figures, they have, if I remember well, 300 million or something like that dollars export, because they want to export products outside sure. Petrol or gas, and they are looking at these figures very narrowly. Senegal, we went in Senegal. Senegal example also is very important. The 4 main big investments are Turkish investments, and in a country when you are the main investor, of course people are looking to you very differently. Sure. adaptation of Turkish industrialists and exporters to all these markets is going through all what we have told before: international education, international students that will work in these international companies. Even Turkish Airlines, is employing now thousands of African workers, because if you want really to become international, you have to make this decision and to take these steps. Sometimes, of course, we have some old habits in Turkey. Change is very different. Everybody is speaking of change, but
executing
people who really execute change are not very a lot. So I think about this issue also we have to do something.
Absolutely. I think you summed it amazing well, the opportunities that can be done. So talking about getting back to Müsiat, what is your vision as the head of diplomatic relations? You are in touch with so many different diplomats, and what is your end goal with all of these connections that you're building? What is your vision? Where do you want to take it next?
As Müsiat, as you say, I'm in charge of global diplomatic relations, but if we are talking about Africa, we are, of course, first developing our own local branches. That is very important to be on the field. We have already more than 24 local branches, and our local branches are very strong. It is one very important part. And what is important is that in these branches you have local businessmen, not only Turkish businessmen. This mix is very important. On the other hand, of course, I spoke about the MOUs. We are trying to develop it more and more. Next MOU will be with Congo, for instance. But how are we working? We just first ask to both embassies. If the both embassies think the organization in front is okay, then we sign the MOU with the participation and the witness of the two embassies. That gives more strength to it. And as I told, we have now more than 100 MOU. Our next step is to develop this, to make that, because signing is very easy. In fact, it's not really easy because you have to find the right partner, sign, etc. But after that, if you don't take some steps, that's why our next issue is to organize business forums, more and more business forums, physically, because we have seen last year that online, of course it's possible, but you don't have the results. You really have to have more business forums, but not general forums, because also about Africa, in last years we have seen the development of very big forums, African forums, but these forums are too general and results are not so high.
Because they're not doing the right match.
Yes.
Right? B2B matches.
Because people are willing to travel, people are willing to have some meetings. Of course, it's a good thing. It has its utility, but if you want to have real results, we have to be more pragmatic and have sectoral, well-organized meetings, project-based meetings, and we will work about this issue. The other point, of course, I told about honorary consuls. We are going to develop it more and more, in all Turkey. That means even in Southeast, in Black Sea region, etc. Because as they are businessmen, it will develop trade. One of the issues we generally don't speak about, and we have, as Müsiat, big projects, is agriculture, of course.
Yes.
We have developed a new project in Müsiat that is smart agriculture cities, because even in Turkey people are going to big cities because they don't find the facilities in their village.
Excellent.
We want to develop modern village with cinemas, with everything that people need, but in villages. The program and the plan was acknowledged by our Ministry of Agriculture. It was announced with our president. This model we can also sell to Africa. Absolutely. Because they have the same situation, and maybe we don't want them to have the same situation as us, because of course you need agriculture. Without agriculture you can't feed the country. Impossible. And it's very important. About this agriculture field, I think we must have a very different African policy, work, and also projects. because the next 10 or 20 years, very big issue will be feeding people, agro-food industry, and on this field we will work very narrowly. Of course, tourism is very important. Generally, we speak about attracting tourists, but tourism is very large. You have, of course, medical tourism, and we know, for having traveled in Zambia, Togo, and many countries, that health is very costly in Africa. So maybe we can have a work on the field about this, but also make that people of Africa come in Turkey to have health services. That means medical tourism is very important.
Excellent.
Also cultural tourism, we must develop it really a lot. Cultural tourism is not based on weather or different issues. It is a long-term tourism.
Even people come to taste different cuisines or food,
of course,
or just to get the training.
And it is the next issue. It is about food and the food industry, but the part of tasting, gourmet issue. You know, some cuisine like Italian cuisine, etc. We have maybe 20 or 30 more different dishes, but our marketing is a bit limited. So we maybe in Africa we can develop this kind of programs about Turkish cuisine, etc. It is also part of tourism, of course. We don't dissociate
history
it.
and
I think it is these 5 or 6 strategic issues. Of course, I spoke about renewable energy. Water treatment, water policies are also
huge.
Very big part, and our industrialists are working about this, especially about water and energy. These two very big subjects. And in our summit we organized in Müsi, that was the issue about how managing energy issue and water issue to develop agriculture and industry. As you know, for instance, in DRC, only 20% of population reaches electricity, and they can't develop because they don't have. It is a circle.
It's like chicken
vicious
circle. It's impacting each other.
And about all this issue, we have the knowledge.
Excellent.
And I think as Müsi also in coming years we will develop. But the main important thing is to have a roadmap about this and coordination between all the structures. Business structures, state structures, in order not to waste energy, time, money that are very important, especially now in this pandemic period.
Excellent. Let's hold here. We will give a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with all the roadmap and everything else you're going to tell, if it's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Zeki Güverçi, who is doing an amazing job for us in terms of explaining the vision between Turkey and Africa and the rest of the world, the opportunities. Let's go to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Yavuz Selim Sılay, physician, entrepreneur, and venture architect. Here we at Special Report. I'm with Zeki Güverçi, who is the board member of Müsi, the largest businessman association. He is also responsible of the entire diplomatic committee as the president of the committee. So today we're discussing with him many areas. And right now I'm getting back to Zeki and really thanking him in his very busy schedule for spending our time with our viewers.
You're welcome.
Dear Zeki, how can everyone watching us now, we have 900 million viewers in 42 countries across Africa listening to you right now. How can they reach you? How can they actually create more partnership with you, either with Müsi, with also your companies? What are the best ways to reach you?
Of course, we have, as I told, we have a very large network in Africa. But reaching first of Müsi, it's in fact with now new technologies they can follow us, of course, on social media like Twitter, etc., Facebook. We have very large information. We have Müsi TV where we have all the videos of our different actions. They can, of course, on our website.
And you have a yearly agenda that you explain, as
Yes,
I see in the,
on Müsiat.org
all the summits that are
there
coming.
is all the program, all the details. Our secretariat, of course, is and on our website they will also have all our branches,
Excellent.
African branches, also contact numbers.
So they can contact directly their own local,
of course,
Nigerian or Senegal or local.
all the countries where we are present, our branch managers are there. But on the other hand, also we know that many African businessmen come directly to Turkey to have some business contacts. Then they can come to us, to our headquarters in Istanbul, or in one of our 80 branches in Turkey. Mm-hmm. In every city we have a Müsiat office, and then contact us. Generally, they can. If not, of course, I'm here all the time. They can contact me also through you, or they can have the contact numbers. Concerning our company, as I told, we have more than 30 representative points in Africa, 28 now, but we have.
Are you open to new representatives in different countries?
Yes, of course. We are willing to develop. That means that we have more than 20 countries where we don't have representatives. As come to Turkey, we are willing to develop it. And also our partners in these countries will become like contact points for people who are willing to study in Turkey, to invest in Turkey, and it's very important for them to have a local contact. Our local managers are local people. They are from the country. They are not Turkish.
Excellent.
That means there is no language cultural problem. For our other companies about hot drinks, etc., I think I will transmit information. So they can contact you, or they can go on our different websites. Come to Turkey.com, for instance, is quite good. They can contact it. For international organizations, of course, and lobbying, GR events, they can also go to. Now everything is about
online. Yes.
Online. When they go to Google, when they Google these names, they will find all the information. But the most important message, I think, is coming months, years, is that Turkey's partnership is very important with for Africans, and African partnership for us is very important. We must really know each better,
of course.
Not trying to understand each other with wrong paradigms, because we
with an open mind. Try to find the commonalities.
Open mind and thinking that understanding is two sides action.
Of course.
You can't ask to African, or they can't ask to us to speak and think regarding their point of view, because there is two point of views. But the good news is that Turkish point of view is based on humanitarian and also equal based rights, and also trade that is fair. That is very important to us. Because our history is quite clear about this. We don't have this history based on genocides, on deportation, on slavery. For us, our history shows that we are really trying to develop together.
Absolutely.
And it is a guarantee for our partners in Africa. And also, and Professor Kawas is one of the historians in Turkey that wrote about it. Even colonization was postponed 2 centuries with Turkish Ottoman action in Africa, because we protected all the west coast of Africa from predators. That means we have a real common historical past, and also a real very
sincere intentions.
Future. Of course. We have seen in many occasions, and Turkey has shown its will to really have this trade fair and common development.
Absolutely.
On this we shall not question anymore, but now it's time to have common projects, and all the fields I have told before. We have a really fantastic coming 10 years if we really work well, changing the destiny of Africa, because we always speak about the destiny of Africa based on very sad events, in fact, but we can change it. In Turkey we have a poet telling that there is a destiny open destiny that
Absolutely.
is very different. Of course, translating is very
It's
difficult.
not easy.
But Turkish people know very well about
Absolutely.
it. We can change things
Absolutely.
together. We can make business together. We can make really bright future for coming generations. And Africa will be this example maybe to the world together.
Absolutely. If there is a will, there is a way. And we also say African solutions for African problems. And
Exactly.
providing the
Yes.
maximum win-win
Yes.
opportunities
Yes.
together. And also, talking about COVID-19, Africa and Turkey, how did COVID-19 impacted the relations or the business, the way you do, even the supply chain, because you're also in the food and beverage
Yes.
sector,
Yes.
how it will impact the way we do
course,
business in the future as
Logistic
well?
was impacted not only because of pandemic, but because of Chinese hegemony on logistic roads,
That's
etc.
true.
That is very different. But also because people could not meet each other during all this year, and also because people were afraid, of course, of this virus. What we see in last weeks is that pandemia is growing in Africa,
Yes.
especially in North Africa, not
Unfortunately.
only in Senegal, in many South Africa. There is a very big social economic problem, and it can go to social clashes.
Yes.
That's why we have very big responsibility, all of us,
Absolutely.
in making that working together and developing together works. If not, nobody is safe, neighbors are not safe. And on this point, I think we have to work more and more together to have this common development.
Absolutely.
But I'm optimistic because we and Africans we have always managed crisis.
Absolutely. And turn that into opportunity.
Yes.
Right?
If you know, in Africa, sometimes very small things, they can do very big
Absolutely.
projects. We are the same. That means we can understand each other and go over.
Absolutely. We broadcast together with TRT World, and one of the things that you mentioned is you don't do enough advertisement. Water Wars is one of them. The Turkish non-profit organizations have opened up more than 2,500 wells, water wells, just
Yes.
during last year. And
Yes.
nobody talks about it. That's why we specifically show Water Wars, where people go and try to celebrate even the basic need of having these villages
Of course.
reaching to water. It makes us so happy, and we receive amazing feedback from our African viewers. So I want to thank you again for your leadership
Welcome.
in doing this business diplomacy with your heart, putting your heart to it, and know that NTR TV is at your service, and we are trying to help our African brothers and sisters with that. I want to get your final opinion on the role of NTR TV broadcasting to 900 million people through France and Luxembourg and Turksat, and what else we can do better. And we're wide open to your recommendations. And after that, probably we'll
thank you
close
very
with your
much for
recommendations.
this today's, of course, broadcast program, but also globally the coming big international issue is information.
Yes.
We know, and in the past we have experienced it many times, that information is the real power now.
Absolutely.
So if information and power is with us, we will have very big facilities. If not, it will be a very big problem. That's why we shall support NTR TV and its international broadcasting, and making sure that it can be independent and growing and reach more and more people in the African continent especially. And also, of course, the business world, the business community, because finance is coming from business community. And of course, it's important to support independent broadcasting.
Absolutely.
That is a basis of freedom also.
I want to thank you again, and I want to get your final messages who are listening to you right now all over Africa. What are your final messages as Zeki Güverçi to our African brothers and sisters in Africa?
We are all African by heart.
Absolutely.
and long live Africa, long live Turkey. That's the final message.
Thank you so much. Zeki Güvercin, it was such an honor hosting
Thank you
you
very
here
much.
at
You're
NTR.
welcome.
This is the beginning. We want to do many more projects with you.
Why
so
not? Of course.
thank you
You're
again, sir. I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a phenomenal gentleman, Zeki Güvercin, the board member of Müsi, the largest independent businessman organization with us, who is also responsible of the entire diplomatic relations. And we'll be again in touch with you with very different people across the board and connecting you with Turkey and the rest of the world. This is your host, Dr. Yavuz Selim Salay, physician, entrepreneur, and venture architect. Stay tuned always to Special Report. Take care and all the best. Bye.